Okay, 1 minute. And for every other person that are joining, I want us to get to know each other first before we start the conversation. Okay, we'll have close to 50 people on the call right now. So feel free to type in your name and where you're joining us from. For instance, Vincent from Nigeria, Lagos, Martins from Abuja, Nigeria, and so on and so forth. So let's get to know each other before we jump right into the conversation for today. Right? Let's try to get to know each other and then we'll jump right into the conversation for today. And if you know anyone that is going to benefit from what we're about to discuss today, please feel free to share the link for this discussion with them. Your friends, your family members, anybody out there that you know that is going to benefit, even your worst enemy, please feel free to share this with them so they can join us in the conversation that we are about to start. I can see Esther from Abuja, Nigeria. It's good to have you on the call, Esther. Judith from Benwell, Sylvester from Accra, Ghana. Fantastic. It's Sohe from Benin City. It's good to have you all on the call today. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. All right. You can see a couple of other comments dropping quickly. Let me recognize everyone, and then we're going to jump right into the conversation. I can see, okay, Esther mentioned that she's an HR professional. Albert from Lagos, Nigeria. Rhoda from Nigeria, Edo. Martins, okay, Tekena from Rivers, okay, Michael from Abuja, Abubakar from Kaduna, Gloria from PH, and Fumi from Lagos. And of course, we have Michael Peter from Abuja. Fantastic. It's good to have every single one of us on this call today. Okay, like I said earlier, we're going to be discussing about how you can land a job in AI come 2026 and what recruiters are actually looking out for to be able to hire you. Now, who exactly is organizing this event? So we are Tenalytics, and we are the leading educational technology company that's helping people to break into several different tech career paths. Okay, we also equip businesses, organizations across the world, empowering their teams with a lot of professional development options that we have right here. Abayomi, your hand is raised. I don't know whether that's by mistake or if you have any question for me already. Okay, and what we do basically is to equip you with practical experience learning, where you learn how to use tools with regards to the aspect of the career path that you're looking to break into. This is what we've been doing for more than 5 years now, and we would help over 2,900 people to move from our own classroom into landing several career paths outside there. And to who am I that I've been speaking to for the last couple of minutes? My name is Chukwuemeka Ikpa, and I'm the CEO of Tenalytics. And prior to becoming the CEO of Tenalytics, I've worked in several different career paths. I've served as a business growth consultant in the hospitality space. I've worked as a data analyst in the fintech space. I've worked as a head of control in the fintech industry as well. I've worked as a governance, risk, and compliance specialist in the banking sector. And right now, I'm working as a talent developer across Africa and Europe. Okay, so feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn at Chukwuemeka Ikpa, or Twitter at Emeka_Heist, or Instagram at Ikpa_Chuks. And we're going to continue this conversation, personalize it from there as well. Okay, so let's jump right into what we have for today. But before then, there are critical things I want you to take out of this conversation. Okay, number one is, I expect you that after this session, you understand the skills that you need for you to even land a job in AI come 2026. So what skills do you need to have for you to be able to land a job in AI come 2026? And also, you need to also understand how to land all these AI roles that we are talking about. How do you get to land AI roles that we are talking about? And then lastly, how do you position yourself for success? Okay, how do you position yourself for success? Where do you apply? How do you also get to apply? So if what you want to take out from this session is not amongst these three, please feel free to write it down in the comment section, and I'm going to be sure to handle it before we are done with the conversation. But these are the three basic places that we are going to be concentrating. And while you are just joining us, please make sure that you fill the attendance form that my colleague Treasure is dropping in the comment section, so they can also get the recorded version of this conversation and also the slide that we're going to be using to communicate. Okay, so we're going to use the attendance form to send the slide and also the recorded version of this call. Maybe along the line, you might get a call, something might happen. So for you to have the full access to everything that we are going to be speaking about, please ensure to fill that attendance form. Now, let's get right into it. I have two different school of thoughts that exist right here. There's a way I love starting my own master classes, okay? And I want you to tell me which of them that you belong to. Are you amongst the people that will say, oh, the link is not clickable? All right, Treasure, Blessing, NSA, please, let's have a look at that. Are you of the school of thought that believe that please do not use ChatGPT? Or are you among the group of people that believe use Gen AI, but ensure guidelines are maintained? And how do you also view some things out there? Maybe you are going through social media, you see something that is AI generated. How do you look at it? What's your own personal view regarding all those things? All right, so please feel free to use the raise hand icon, and I'm going to call you up to speak. Please feel free to use the raise hand icon. Yeah, Gabriel, my guys are going to work on the link and make sure that it's clickable. Okay, it's clickable from my own side actually. I can see it clearly, it is clickable. I can click on it from here. All right, so I asked the question, which school of thought do you belong to? School of thought 1 or school of thought 2? Do you believe that we should use ChatGPT, or do you think we should not use ChatGPT? So the people saying that it's not clickable, once you scroll to the comment section like this, you can easily see it here. Just tap on it and it's going to instantly take you to where you fill the attendance form. Okay, unless you are using a phone, okay, unless you are using a phone. So if you are using a phone, I'd advise you to copy the link and then paste it in your own browser as well. Okay, if you're using a phone, I'd advise you to copy the link and then paste it in your own browser. All right, Deborah, the hand is it for to answer the question. All right, please go ahead. I've added you as a co-host. Please go ahead and unmute and speak to us the school of thought that you belong to. Hi, Gabriel, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Chukwuemeka. So, school of
Emeka.
am I correct?
Yes, you are correct. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. So, the school of thought I belong to, I I don't believe in don't use ChatGPT, although it's quite the first AI that we all knew. But I also believe that they are advancing in their own in the tech, so it's not of what you. So I use ChatGPT a lot, and I also use Gen AI. So anyone that works, I'll be it. I don't use ChatGPT for if I want to write any code, things like code or anything. I don't use ChatGPT. But if I want to do other tasks, like organizing my workflow or things like that, I still use ChatGPT for that. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Gabriel. So Gabriel believes that we should actually make use of ChatGPT. We should make use of AI. So is there anybody here that believes that we should not make use of AI? Please just feel free. It's a free space. You're just airing your own thought process, and we're all going to learn from your own as well. Anybody? Anybody? I can't see. Can I get the full name of our facilitator, please? Akora Judith. Judith, my name is Chukwuemeka Ekpa IKPA. Right? Judith, my name is Chukwuemeka Ekpa. Unless you have a different question that you have. All right. Is there another person here that have another contribution? What school of thought do you belong to? And the reason why I'm asking this is that one of the major things that holds us back with regards to making moves is around our mindset. I had a professor that believed that when I was doing my MBA, his belief is that we shouldn't do our research work using laptop. That if you want to do any research work, you have to come to the library and get the books down and then start going through the books for you to be able to do your research work. All right. Now, that is his own school of thought. But remember, if you're using a laptop to also do that same research, your laptop is something that you're going to use to download that same book, use a laptop to skip through it, and then, of course, be able to write your own research papers. So, but to him, he feels that for you to be able to show that you've done an actual research, you should be doing it in the library. So that is how some people also see this case of AI out there now. some of us see AI as, oh, these things are not actually meant to be used. They're making some things. If you're using AI, it means that you're not the actual person doing that exact work. AI is just simply assisting you. But remember, that same library that is available to everyone, and people can always use it for their research work and read from. That is the same way AI is also available for everybody as of today. And some people are using it to, propagate their life, while some are not using it effectively. So the question is always, once you are able to rewire your own mindset to see that all these tools out there are actually here to assist us, it's going to help you to make that first move towards understanding how exactly does this tool work. Okay, you can see the school of thought that I have here. Use Gen AI, but ensure the guidelines for use are maintained. Please don't use Gen AI. Some people still believe in this. Now, I'm going to bring out a comment from a university abroad, even in their thesis work and research work that people are writing. Can we all see my screen? Mentioned the use of generative AI is permitted in this assessment, so long as it is used in accordance with the instructions provided in. All submitted work must be your own original content. So what that means is that you can use AI to help yourself understand or to find information, to plan or to proofread and edit your work. However, you can't use it to generate your assignments. So this is simply like in the olden days, I don't know, when we were in school as at 2007 or thereabouts, and you're writing an exam, maybe you are giving an open exam. Use your textbook to write an exam. Because in the actual real world experience, nobody's going to tell you, please don't do research, please don't look at this place for you to solve a problem. Constantly, you are going to be seeking for solutions to any problem that you have. So that is also what AI is here to help us do. Okay, so if as at now, you are not yet using this guy as your personal assistant, that means there is actually a problem somewhere. Because every single one of us have him or her as the AI as their own personal assistant. And having it very, very handy can go a long way. Now, these are some ways of thinking that we are still stuck in this 2025. So if you are looking to land a job in 2026 with regards to AI, there has to be a shift in mindset with regards to how we actually approach this. So as at this moment, there's an identity that we all possess in the work environment. We have this traditional employee mindset. Oh, this person can actually be able to do this guy things handy and be able to resolve the solution. We're not looking at it from the aspect of having a hybrid creator, someone that should be able to look at what is obtainable and be able to provide it to you and have that identity. So if you are still a traditional employee, there is a problem. I'm going to tell us a simple story. My own transition into the tech space started when I was in the banking sector, actually. I was working as an IT auditor, which is also IT control officer. But as at then, the way I was moving, people started calling me digital control officer. And that was simply because some manual things that we were doing in the bank as at then, I was constantly looking for how do I actually make these things to be automated? Because I was very, very lazy. Okay, I am still very lazy. So if you give me any work that is very stressful, I'm going to find a way to make it easier for myself. So that simple act now led to me discovering ways to actually carry out my call over several activities in a digital way. I'm not going to come and start lying that I'm the most serious person out there. No, I'm very, very lazy. Okay, but it made me to realize, how do we do this the smart way? But sometimes when we all close our mindset towards, oh, I'm the traditional employee, everything one, everything two, there's going to be you being stuck on that role. So there needs to be a shift to you looking at it from that hybrid form if you're looking to learn something concrete come 2026. Okay, and another aspect is also, where are you focusing? Are you focusing on task? And that's your job description. They've asked you, oh, today, come and do this. Make sure that if a customer walks into the bank, attend to them. So your focus is still positioned around task and job description. But there needs to be that shift to you looking at it from business outcome and solving problems. okay, business outcome and solving problem. For instance, a friend or colleague of mine that that's in UK mentioned to me that these sessions that we always have most Saturdays, there are sessions that people also organize like this, but we have to pay to attend it. So I asked the person, okay, why exactly do I need to pay when what I'm looking for is to solve a problem for the people? All right. So how you approach all this, how your focus is aligned with regards to your own job as of now, is also going to position you to how 2026 will turn out. So if you are still the normal traditional employee, there's high possibility that you're approaching work from task and job description. And if you're still boxed within that, you need to start looking at it from how do I solve a problem in this business? Okay, which is going to, of course, lead to business outcomes. Now, in the AI workflow and tools, some of us see AI as a threat. Now, this is some thought processes of people that are stuck in pre-AI thinking. So if you are still observing AI and you're still looking at this thing, this guy have come here to take our job, or what are we going to do now? This guy is just here to, take what we are eating. It means that you are not going to actually be able to utilize it. There is what, because we had our strategy session a couple of months, not a couple of months, last month. And there was a question that one staff asked me. She mentioned, we are automating this, we are automating that. Are we looking to start people in the organization? Now, that simple question stuck with me. Now, this is someone that is already looking at the way the company is moving, because all the processes are being automated. And before that automation, someone was carrying out that task manually. Someone was performing that activity. So he started seeing it like, oh, this automation that we are doing is actually a threat. So if you are still seeing AI as a threat, there's a need for you to move beyond it and start seeing it as a co-pilot. So it's just like if you've entered a plane before, you know that there's a pilot, there's a co-pilot also existing in that same cockpit. Now, the pilot is never going to see that co-pilot on that cockpit as a threat to their job. They're always going to see that, oh, this co-pilot here is actually here to assist me to pilot this plane safely from takeoff to landing. So once you start seeing the AI as your co-pilot, as your own personal assistant, you are going to definitely know how to use it to make a fortune for yourself. I use that fortune there because I saw someone here and the name is Fortune. Okay, so we need to shift away from that concept of seeing AI as a threat and now looking at it from a co-pilot perspective. Okay, and then also in 2026, there is going to be that vulnerability to restructuring and competition, which means you're already seeing, oh, in 2026, this AI is actually going to make me to lose my job, or is a competition to me. Okay, but how you need to now see it is in 2026, how do I also position myself to know how to use this AI so that I can actually be pivot ready and also be indispensable? Okay, so once your shift is entirely moving away from this point to this other side, you are already getting ready for the job market come 2026. Are we all following? Are we all following me to this very moment? I love a very, very interactive class. Please feel free to type anything in the comment section so that I'll be sure there are people that are speaking so they're not talking to my laptop. All right, thank you. I can see the reaction. Fantastic. Now, what all this shift is resulting to is also showing us that companies are already taking actions. Okay, so what Gartner mentioned is that AI won't kill jobs, but is the session recorded? Yes, Sylvester, the session is recorded. So after it, we're going to share it to people that filled the attendance form, because that's the only way we can actually be able to reach out to you. Okay, so please make sure you fill the attendance form. Now, Gartner mentioned that AI won't kill jobs, but it will reshape 32 million jobs in a year. Okay, it's going to reshape 32 million jobs in a year. I don't know if we're seeing this. And then the other report is also mentioned that nearly 4 in 10 companies will replace workers with AI by 2026. That is what the survey is showing. Now, when we mention all this AI, remember that someone needs to still be there to somehow be that can't access the attendance form, please drop your reach out to Treasure in the comment section, and she's going to also be able to assist you. Okay. All right. Now, nearly 4 out of 10 companies are looking for how to also bring AI on board. But when we're talking about artificial intelligence, it's not just magic. It's people that is also there to be able to perform some of those activities. All right. In fact, there is this very, very strong communication from the World Economic Forum reports. What the World Economic Forum reports mention is that there's going to be a 39% shift, right? There's going to be a 39% shift. And what exactly does that 39% shift mean? It means that 39% out of the entire skill you are using right now to perform on a job is going to change in the next coming year. So it means that if right now you are using one finger, let's assume you're using these 5 fingers to perform an activity on your job. By next year, 2 are going to be taken away. It's only 3 that you're going to be needing. And which means you need to replace that 2 with another existing skill that you need to be able to perform that task. Okay? But once you are not moving in that direction, you are going to be left behind. Okay? So by 2026, nobody's going to be coming to you to ask you, can you do the job? So questions are going to shift to, can you do this 10 times faster with artificial intelligence? Okay? Because going to market is not just about, building the best product sometimes. It's about the fastest person to actually bring this out in the market. Okay? So it's very, very important that we are all aligned towards this mindset of understanding artificial intelligence. I can see a couple of questions. I'm going to take those questions in the end. Is it possible to rewatch this later? Because network is really crazy here. Yes, Kehinde, of course, but you need to fill the attendance form so that we are going to share the recorded version with you and also the slide after this session. All right, now moving on. How exactly is the AI job market going to be come next year? Because you need to first of all understand what we are up against before we even know what you need to get into. Now, before now, a lot of people always see artificial intelligence as, oh, AI is just for people that is in tech, or AI is just for people that is doing something that relates to financials. But the shift has already happened. Now, artificial intelligence is being embedded into every single aspect of the businesses. There is this video I was watching last week, and it mentioned that it was a survey. A doctor performed a surgery in the health space. A doctor performed a surgery, and the success rate was at 96%. Now, AI performed a robot, let me use the actual word that they use. A robot performed that same surgery, and the success rate was at 97.4%. Now, when they combined a human, so combination of both of them to perform that same surgery, the success rate was now sitting at 99.7%. So because they were trying to find out, should we eliminate the use of human and use just artificial intelligence for this surgery? Or should we use human alone and remove artificial intelligence? So they had to carry it out independently. Independently, the human being score was successful by 96%. The AI was successful by 97.4%. Okay, but then the combination of both of them gave a near perfection, which is 99.7% success rate. So that was where the advent of this, it is not human versus AI. No, it is not human versus AI. It is human plus AI that is going to give you what you are looking for. So if as at now, you're still approaching this artificial intelligence conversation from, oh no, it's just robots is going to take over what I'm doing, it means that you've already lost in this fight with technology. Okay, so what you need to know is, how do I infuse artificial intelligence into every single process, into every single thing that I am currently doing? How do I do that? Let me shock us right now. There's an AI that can actually start placing call for companies now. So what that simply means is that though all those sales calls that we used to get, hi Chukwemeka, are you interested in doing this or doing that? Artificial intelligence are now being trained to be able to take over the exact activity. But remember, even though it's going to replace salespeople, someone needs to be able to prompt and create all the scripts that AI is going to be using to making those sales conversations. Okay, and it needs to also come from a salesperson that under intelligence. So what it simply means is if we have 10 sales guys now, okay, and then we bring in AI. With that efficient of AI, what we're going to be needing now is possibly 2 salespeople plus AI. Now, the question that you need to ask yourself is, if this sales team is reduced from 10 to 2, do I have the skills to be able to make that cut? Do I have the skills to be able to make that cut? So if the answer is no, that means you need to take this conversation very, very seriously. Okay? That means you need to take this conversation seriously. Like I mentioned earlier, recruiters have shifted from just looking for people that can do the job, but they are looking for the guys that are also AI friendly. A friend of mine that is HR mentioned that some HR will always mention to you, oh, don't use AI to write your CV. But that same HR is using ATS to screen your CV. So are we seeing the two-faced conversation here now? Now, AI in the HR, I think there is a HR on this call. Let me ask her if she allows the use of AI for people to automate their CVs. Hi, Esohe. Esohe, are you there? Esohe, are you still on the call? Use the raise hand icon so I can also highlight you. Now, people use AI to optimize every single thing that they have. But if you didn't do, you didn't do. That is the truth. If you didn't do, you didn't do. And that's why the same AI that you're using in a very small way is something that another person is now using in a very robust manner. Hi, so here, I'm a co-host. Please feel free to unmute and speak. Do you allow people to actually use AI to optimize their CV? Hi, yesterday.
Good evening, everybody. As long as you can defend the things that are written in there, yes.
All right, fantastic response. So we've heard from the HR herself. Thank you, Esore. Now, this is glaring. Now, remember, what AI can help you do is just like people that use LinkedIn. If you go to LinkedIn to type normal, you're going to say your conversation is going to be different. Like there's a tone that people use to speak on LinkedIn. It doesn't make them fake. It simply means that they observe what people are looking to see. And that is also how, for instance, I can say that I've been able to help business increase from point 1 to point 2, helping them to save so and so amounts of money. And I'll give it to AI, help me optimize this keyword. And it's going to mention something like, oh, you help United Bank of Africa to improve their revenue by 50%, moving them from a deficit to a positive. Now, this is AI converting what I've given it in a way that is now speaking clearly and communicating very, very well. Now, but remember that initial prompting aspect needs to come from you. Okay, it needs to come from you. So if you do not understand how to make use of it now, that means you are definitely going to be left behind. And what exactly are the tech stack? What are the work that recruiters are going to be looking out for come next year? Next year is not far anymore. It's roughly in less than 15 days. Okay, not less than 17 days. We're going to be in next year. Okay, so the tech skills, what are the tech stacks that are looking out for? One is machine learning proficiency. Okay, machine learning proficiency, core AI, that's Gen AI, is a must that you will have. Now, you know, when before now, there used to be the conversation around Excel should be a course in the school, that any graduates coming out of university should actually have an Excel skill. Now, the shift is gradually moving away from Excel to generative AI skill. What simply means is that every graduate coming out of the school needs to have Gen AI skill. Okay, because any tool that you're using as at today, there's already an embedded aspect of AI in it. If you are using Canva before now, if you go there again, you're going to see AI. If you're using CapCut, AI is there. If you're using even Instagram, your Meta AI is there. If you're using WhatsApp, your Meta AI is also embedded there. But that same AI that is on your own phone and is on my own phone, if I bring out what that AI was able to do for me and bring out yours, it is not going to be the same. And the difference is now understanding how generative AI works, understanding prompt engineering. Okay, so all these are technical skills that individuals need to be able to make sure that they have. They are looking to land a job in AI come 2026. And I forgot to mention, when we're talking about this AI thing, it doesn't mean that it is just in the AI sector that your jobs are going to be available. No, it cuts across every single sector of the economy. For instance, whether you're in the education space, or whether you are in finance, banking and finance, or whether you are in agriculture, or whether you are in energy, oil and gas, and so on and so forth, there is an embedded aspect of AI in that your own sector. But the most important thing is, do I know how to be able to use them? And of course, data handling and processing, very, very crucial. Data handling and processing. Now, there's also some essential qualities and experience that are desired. Now, if you are looking to land a job come 2026, I have a very strong question for all of us. Now, let's say you are sick and you go to a hospital now, and the doctor that wants to attend to you said, oh, I'm still a medical student trying to find out and learn more. Please bring your body. Let me choke you injection. How are you going to react? What's the mental process that's going to come into your head? You go to a hospital and the medical professional there is telling you, oh, I'm still a student, I'm still learning this exact process, and so on and so forth. But bring your body, let me use you and experiment. How are you going to react? Are you going to react in a negative way or in a positive way? Are you going to react in a negative way or in a positive way? Stella said that she's going to run. Stella said that she is going to run. I'll leave the hospital. That's what Isabel also mentioned. Negative way, Oluseyi. Fantastic. But this is what happens when some of us on this call, if you ask, oh, what's your tech stack or how is your experience in the tech space right now? The response is always, oh, I'm still a tech enthusiast. I'm trying to learn how to do this. I'm trying to learn how to do that. Companies are going to run. Because nobody wants you to come into their organization and use their own data or infrastructure to come and be testing. Because they're going to cause them a reputational damage if anything happens. So one of the most important qualities that you need to have is one, relevant project experience. Right? Relevant project experience. Very, very, very important. Oh, my bio is not writing anymore. 1 second, guys. Relevant project experience. All right, fantastic response, Chinasa. Fantastic response. Medical students don't do that, but remember, they are still studying. So they are still in school and learning. Okay, but in the tech space now, tech students always refer to themselves, oh, I'm still a tech enthusiast. I'm a data enthusiast. And you want someone to now entrust their data in your hand. Now, I hope you are seeing the differences here now. Because medical students don't see patients, why do you think data will be given to you as a tech professional to handle when you have branded yourself as still a student? That is what we are trying to communicate. All right? Chance, I hope you are getting that clearly. The most important thing for you to understand is that the same way hospitals protect their medical students from, oh, you can't see this patient without so and so. That is how organizations are also saying, oh, we are still in this learning phase. We can't make you to be able to handle our data. And companies do not even have that patience to come and tell you, oh, come, let's now start teaching you how to do this. And that's the difference between the health and the data space. Okay, the health and the tech space rather. Because for health space, your learning process still involves you coming to the hospital and also understanding. In the tech space, you are expected to understand and come in. That is the truth. Even if you are being hired as an intern, if you are being hired as an intern in the tech space, they expect you to know, okay, you are coming as a data analyst intern. They expect you to know how to use Excel. They expect you to know how to use Power BI. They expect you to know how to use it slightly a little bit before they can bring you in. But if you branded yourself, oh, I'm still learning this, I'm still learning that, nobody is going to bring you on board. Okay. And how do you erase that mindset of you are still learning? Number one is relevant project experience. Okay, you need to have a relevant project experience. Oh, while I was consulting with analytics, I worked on this project in the financial sector where I analyzed this data. I did this using so and so tool, and I arrived at this result. This is what they want to hear. If you are communicating, oh, I'm using YouTube to learn how to do this, do that, they'll say, now YouTube, you want to come use work for here? These are things that are always happening on a daily basis. So it's important for us to reshape this aspect of how we position ourselves from communicating how we are learning. And that's also leading you to the other aspect of strong communication. Strong communication. Now, this is one skill that most tech professionals lack. When it comes to technicalities, oh, write this code, write this one, fantastic. We can close our eyes and do it. But call 10 tech guys and ask them, please stand here and address the crowd. If you see Ron, you're not going to believe it that day. Now, this simply means that what and how can you also represent yourself as a differentiator in that exact market? Okay, which means you are bringing in your communication skills and also the tech skills that you are gathering and infusing it into one to be able to stand different. This is why it is always, when you see people that transition from a non-tech background into tech, they're always more vocal and expressive than people that even studied computer science and they're in tech. For instance, myself, I studied civil engineering. My founder studied industrial chemistry. My co-founder studied economics. And in our organization analytics, I can tell you that 97% of our staff are tech professionals, and none of them studied computer science. Okay. And what makes most people coming from that different diverse backgrounds easier and better from extent is because you have different other skills that is not just your coding or technical skill. You have strong communication skill, you have adaptability and continuous learning possibilities. Adaptability is very, very key. Because if you do not have it, you're going to be left behind. When ChatGPT came out, all of us were using ChatGPT. When DeepSeek came out, we all rushed to DeepSeek. Oh, let's see the difference. Cloud came out, we rushed to Cloud. Let's see what Cloud is now doing. Bricks came out, we went to Bricks. You also know what Bricks. There are several generative AIs coming out every single day. So if you're not adaptable, you're not even going to know the one that is best for the task that you want to also be able to carry out. For instance, if you want to perform a data analysis right now, ChatGPT is not visually appealing, and it is not also animated. Okay, if you perform an analysis using ChatGPT, it is not animated. But if you decide to use Claude to do that same analysis, it's going to be animated. It's going to also come up with a better representation of your data, which simply means if you are someone in data, you should be looking towards Claude, Bricks, and all those other ones, and not ChatGPT. But we may not even know because we are not adaptable to all the other Gen AIs that come. Which one could be better for academic research, Sir Richard? Okay, Richard, to be honest with you, I will tell you ChatGPT. And the reason for ChatGPT is because ChatGPT has Scholar. It has a segment called Scholar embedded inside it. That once you change to Scholar mode, it automatically switches how it's communicating with you as well, and can now be able to do a lot of research out there. Hope that answers your question to the person that to Richard that asks, yeah, is ChatGPT that is best for all those research activities. Now, what this means is that if you're looking to position yourself to land a job in 2026 in AI, you need to look at these essential skills that you need to have. Relevant project experience, strong communication skill, and also you being adaptable. This adaptability, I'm going to be honest with everybody here, it is one of the best skills that you can actually have in this world. Okay, and to me personally, it is what has made my own story different. Like I said earlier, I studied civil engineering because growing up, my father said, "Oh, Chukwemeka, look at this person building this community school for hometown, right? This person studied civil engineering and he has a lot of money to be doing this. Oh yeah, going to civil engineering. That's how I found myself inside civil engineering. And from there, I mean, I'm done with civil engineering. I'm out in the society. As then they said, "Oh, banking is where the next big thing is." I dusted my tie and jumped into banking. Now, right in the banking space, when I started hearing all this tech thing, I removed my tie and wore my hoodie instantly. All right, let's move towards this direction. So that adaptability needs to be a skill that each one of us needs to have if we want to actually be able to play better in this space. Okay, if you want to be able to play better in this space. Now, moving on, what are the key steps for you to land this AI job? Number one is relevant internship. It's very, very important that you gain a practical experience of what you are doing. You've learned how to use N8N, you've learned how to use Cloud, you've learned how to use Bricks. Where is your evidence? Okay, quick question for everyone on this call. Let's assume that you have a car. Your car spoils. I always use this example. Are you going to give your car to this person saying, "This is my, I have a master's degree from Oxford University Mechanical Engineering." That's person A. Master's degree, Oxford University, first class, Mechanical Engineering. Or are you going to give it to person B saying, "This is my mechanic workshop. I've repaired Aston Martin, I've repaired Benz, I've repaired Volkswagen, I've repaired Toyota. Bring your car, let me repair it for you." Who are you going to give your car to? To the person with first class master's degree, mechanical engineering from University of Hull, person A, or to the person B, that is a mechanic workshop owner that have repaired Volkswagen, repaired Benz, Aston Martin, and several other cars? Whom are you going to give your car to repair? The A or the B? Let me even gauge if we are still on this call. Okay, let me check. I think I'm receiving some responses. Okay, Remex said B. Mashek said B as well. Rhoda the B. Vicent B. Isn't it B? Stella B. Taiwo B. Fantastic. Judith B as well. Now, the truth is that we are always going to tilt to B. All right. But then, in the grand scheme of things, most time we pursue A. As individuals, we pursue A. But then when we are in that exact situation, we start looking for B. Right? We start looking for B. I had a friend that said, "I want to go and do my master's degree in social science." So I asked the person, "Why?" And she said, "Well, I want to be a master's degree holder. I want to be able to have this and be able to land more jobs because I have a master's degree." I said, "You want to land more jobs because I have a master's degree in this 2026? The possibility is slim, actually." When I was working as a head of control in a fintech in Nigeria, the CTO as at then, this guy didn't go to university, but he was a CTO in a Nigerian company leading all the other tech professionals. He didn't go to university. After his college, he started writing codes, and that was that's after his secondary school, rather. That was how he started growing. Okay, and he became a CTO, a 25-year-old guy as at then. Okay, and we are all reporting to him. Me, with my MBA, I was reporting to him. It was very funny. And that was the time I realized that there's already a shift incoming. Now, some organizations may not have, embraced this new culture of employing because of skill. Some might still be tilting towards certification, but it doesn't mean that that is where the world is going to. So you need to have relevant experience to validate the skill that you have. If all you have is to mention, "Oh, I have N8N experience, I have Power BI experience, I have ChatGPT Gen AI experience," and there is no evidence to validate it, you are going nowhere. So the same way the mechanic workshop guy, we were able to believe this person because, you are seeing the workshop, you are seeing the cars that he repaired. That is the only way that you're believing him. So there is need for you to have that relevant experience and also have the projects that you've worked existing. So after that first step of internship experience, relevant internship experience, number two is you having a portfolio to showcase your projects. Okay, you need to have a portfolio to showcase your project and then also have a work history. Now, this is what many people lack when they're looking for jobs in the tech space. This is very, very crucial. This level I am on is very, very crucial. So because you are learning on different platforms out there, the relevance that may be attached to it might be slain. But when you mention things like, oh, I interned with Analytics, I consulted with Amdari, I did this with Analytics Business, all right, it's going to give a different feel from I learned this on YouTube. The feel is going to be different because when companies now reach out to Analytics Business to mention, oh, did Chukwemeka actually do this with your organization so and so time? Analytics Business will be able to provide those reference letters to validate that skill that you have. So remember 3 things I've mentioned. Step 1 is for you to have relevant internship experience. Number 2 is have a portfolio to showcase your project. Number 3 is for you to have work history. And then number 4 is to have that continuous learning mindset. This is very, very important. If you learned Excel in 2000, and you are saying, because I know how to use Excel in 2000, that means Excel is still the same in 2022, you are actually wrong. Because Excel has optimized. Google Sheets has also optimized. In fact, on Google Sheets, you can even write Python codes inside Google Sheets now. So if you've not also moved with the trend to now also have those skills, you're going to be left behind. Okay, let me use an example that we all can relate to. You are an architect. I can see someone that is using a house as a GP. That's why that came to my mind. You're an architect as of today. Let's assume that you use T-square, drawing board, A3 paper, and your drawing pen or a pencil to draw a house, do your architectural drawing and everything. That is what you are still using in 2025. And someone else can use AutoCAD or Revit or Orion or Civil 3D to come up with their own architectural drawing and bring out the 3D. Who do you think is going to go further? The person carrying T-square and drawing table and drawing board, or the person with just a laptop and using AutoCAD and Revit to generate a 3D effect of what they have? Now, I will see the difference. I think this is a very glaring look with regards to what we're talking about. So when you are still tilted towards that traditional style and you're not looking towards the advanced style, there is going to be an issue. It is not that you are wrong, it's simply that you've been left behind. And before you that is doing something in a traditional way can come up with one output, the person that is doing it in an advanced way will already have 4 or 5 different outputs even before you. So it's very, very crucial to note that continuous learning is a must. Is a must for every single one of us. And now, how do you learn AI roles? Okay, these are the different steps that if you joined earlier, I mentioned that we have close to 3,000 people that moved from our own classroom into landing a first job out there. It was this same process that they all used. Number 1 is to learn the skill. Number 2 is to package themselves. And number 3 is simply to start applying to jobs. But the first question you need to ask yourself is, what exactly do I learn? Okay, what exactly do I learn? Because if you don't know what to learn, you are actually wrong. And one of the major mistakes that most people make when they're trying to break into tech is making the wrong move. Oh, because my friend is doing AI automation, let me go and do AI automation. Oh, because my friend is doing Gen AI for data analytics, let me go and do Gen AI for data analytics. My friend is doing Gen AI for business analysis, let me go there. No, it is simply your own cross to carry. So first thing you need to identify is, what are the transferable skills I have now, and what aspect of tech are they tilting towards? Okay, once you identify the place you are right now and the aspect of tech that are existing, that is your own transferable pathway. That's your transferable skill, and that's your pathway to move. Okay, I'm still going to explain packaging later, but packaging is very, very crucial because what most of us do now, for instance, I'm going to use Esohe. Esohe, I'm sorry that I'm using you as an example. You're just the person that is occupying my screen. I don't know why. She mentioned that she's a HR professional. Let's assume she's HR professional and she's looking to break into tech, right? And she doesn't know how to use any of the AI tools out there to be able to carry out HR analytics easier. But because she noticed that, oh, I'm a HR, I can easily be able to package myself to say, oh, I'm actually a HR analyst, which makes sense. But in the grand scheme of things, if she's provided with data, oh, help us analyze these people data, because you mentioned that you are a HR analyst, will she be able to do it? That's the question that she has to answer for herself. So first thing is to learn the skill before packaging. But guys, I won't lie to us, in the Nigerian landscape, most people package first before they even learn the skill. And that is where the problem lies. We are packaging even before learning. That's a very, very big misrepresentation of how it should flow. So you need to learn, package yourself, and then start shooting for jobs. Learn, package, and apply. So if you've not gotten anything from this conversation today, please learn this winning formula. Learn, package, and apply. We call it LPA. So once you are able to master it and apply it judiciously, you are going to learn something. I'm going to show us an important matrix from the World Economic Forum report, okay? And at this junction, please, let's make sure that we are filling the attendance form. So once this conversation is over, we're going to share this slide with you and also the recorded version of this conversation. So we'll share the slide with you. Simply click here and you can have access to the full report from the World Economic Forum report. Now, before now, that's in this 2025, AI and big data, according to World Economic Forum report, it's number 11 in the core skills needed in 2025. I want us to just work with me. Number one skill that we have there is analytical thinking, resilience and flexibility and agility, leadership and social influence. That is the top 3 skills that we have. And if you look at it, analytical thinking is a cognitive skill. It's a cognitive skill. Resilience and flexibility is under self-efficacy, which means how self-efficient are you? And then number 3 is also leadership and social influence, which is around working with others. This is at this 2025, core skills in 2025, analytical thinking, resilience, leadership, and so on and so forth. In fact, the first place you are going to see something that relates to tech is around number 6, which is technological skills. Okay, number 6, technological skills. But let's have a look towards how 2026 is going to be shaped. Now, if you look at the skills on the rise, number 1 as of today is now AI and big data. That is now the number 1. As of today, AI and big data. Number 2 is now networks and security, cybersecurity. And number 3 is now technological literacy. Before you now start seeing creative thinking again, resilience and flexibility, and of course, curiosity and lifelong learning. So you can see that the top 3 as of now, for you going into 2026 upwards, AI and big data is number 1. So if you're on this call and you still lack that number 1 skill, you've been left behind. You know, before now, if people were doing their CV, you always see, oh, I'm an analytical thinker. Nobody's looking at that anymore. What we're not looking for now is, oh, I'm AI and big data on specialist. You can see where these guys moved from. From number 11 in 2025, you can see it had a 45% regards to this survey. It's moved from that number 11 and jumped to number 1 with 87 net increase. So it means that if you don't match up that net increase with 87% of what you're currently doing now, you are already going back to village. Okay, so the questions that we should have now is, how do we equip ourselves with AI and big data skills for us to be relevant come next year? Okay, AI and big data, how do we equip ourselves for us to be relevant come next year? That's not it alone. We look at the World Economic Forum report also to find out which career paths are actually going to be relevant in next year, which one is going to be growing fastest. You can see number 1, big data specialist. You can see this one, AI and machine learning specialist. You can see this one, data warehousing specialist, data analysts and specialists, data engineers, organization specialists, which is around HR professionals. And then, of course, you're now seeing these other guys also. So where are they all relating to? And of course, BA, which is now process automation specialists. All these skills that are all here, data, AI, HR, business analysis, and then of course, project management that we also have here. How do you get into them? That is the question that you have to ask yourself. Because if you look at this right-hand side, you're going to see skills that is actually declining. The fastest declining career paths, they are on the right-hand side, while the ones that are increasing are on the left-hand side. You can see the least job as at today is postal service clerks, bank tellers, data entry guys, cashiers, because all these roles can be automated. Because all these roles you see here can be automated. So if what you are currently doing right now can be automated, you need to move. Because it's not a question of will AI take over, it is when is it going to come and take mine? Because it's going to happen. Okay, so you need to move from this right-hand side towards this left-hand side. I don't know if I'm making sense up here now. Am I making sense? Are we all following? Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Taiwo. Thank you. Okay, I already have 2 people that are following me with regards to this conversation. All right, Priscilla Ojo, that name sounds familiar. Now, when we also talk about these things, people don't actually know that you can actually earn really well in this AI landscape because it is quite new, especially in Nigeria. Not all organizations have adopted it yet. You can see as high as what people make. How much does an AI automation engineer make? Roughly 100K per annum. Not in Naira, not in Naira. How much does AI specialists make in this one? Roughly 84K. That's least per annum. So it means that the trajectory for people that understand AI is actually very, very high. It's very, 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 very high. So I don't know where we've moved. Like I mentioned earlier, if you are looking to land a job, you need that technical expertise, relevant experience, and of course, that adaptability. So what does this mean? You need to have C plus E, technical skill, plus employability skill, plus adaptability, and you are definitely going to land a job. Okay, you need that technical skill, plus employability skill, and then be adaptable, and then you are definitely going to land a job. Okay, I think my screen is frozen. Can we all still see my screen? I think my screen is frozen. Okay, I think it's back. All right, it's back. So technical skill plus employability skill plus adaptability is going to give you that job. Yeah, Uchendu, Anthony, I think the screen is back now. Once you're able to get all this, you are definitely moving to greater things already. Now, where do you actually look for these jobs on? Okay, where do you look for these jobs? And most of us, I'm going to talk about LinkedIn last because that is the only one that we know. Okay, but there are several places that we can actually make use of to be able to land remote jobs that is also tilting towards AI. For instance, if you look at remote OK.com, let me quickly click on it. So when you get to a slide, just click on each of them. It's going to take you to their website, and you can actually be able to see what their website is like and see where you can also be able to apply to jobs. All right, secure just 1 minute. While I'm bringing up my screen again, please let's make sure that we fill the attendance form. So that by the time we're done with this conversation, you can actually be able to, get the slide and also get the recorded version of this conversation. Okay, so you can also be able to get the slide and get the recorded version of this conversation. Just a minute, so I can also be able to bring my screen back up. I think my second device is misbehaving. Just a second, it should be back in 1 minute. But are we experiencing something here so far? Are we all following so far? Are we having a very good mindset shift? All right, thank you guys. Thank you. That's encouraging. Let me eat that one and feel good. All right, my screen should be back now again. Please, let's confirm that we can see my screen again. Let's confirm that we all can see my screen again. Can we all see my screen? All right, thank you. So once you get the slide and click on any of these, it's going to take you to the link. So let's go and see what each of them have for us. RemoteOK.com, we have that one. We have Working Nomads, also a very good platform for you to land jobs. So once you come to any of them, I can't see your screen. That shouldn't be true. That shouldn't be true. Guys, can we see my screen? All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I can see the screen. Okay, so once you come to remoteok.com, you can easily also see jobs that are existing on this platform for you to land different roles out there. Remember, when you are looking to land a job in different tech spaces, remember what I said, your skill can actually be what can land you a job in a different non-tech career path. It can be in financials, it can be in marketing, it can be in several different places. Okay, it can be what is going to bring you to get a job on that same place. That you are a Gen AI business analyst, that you are a Gen AI project manager or HR analyst doesn't mean that you are secluded to one sector of the economy. No, you have access to applying to jobs on those other different locations. You can also see the ones that is also existing on this platform, Working Nomads. Working Nomads are people that are constantly there on the move. Today they're in Ghana, tomorrow they're in Nigeria, next time they're in different places, and so on and so forth. And once you get that initial skill in AI, you can actually start making use of all these different sites to look for jobs. Okay, so I've shown us RemoteOK, I've shown Working Nomads. There's also We Work Remotely, and there's of course AngelList. I'm sure everybody on this call, we all know LinkedIn. Is there anybody here that doesn't know LinkedIn yet? I'm sure we all know LinkedIn. So it's also very, very, very crucial. In fact, many people feel like LinkedIn is no more performing for us. LinkedIn is no more performing. But the truth is that LinkedIn is still the fastest, it's still the cheapest, and it's always the easiest means of hiring. So most recruiters are still going to go to LinkedIn to post for jobs. So if your profile is not also sufficient there, if it's not relevant, if it's not good, then you may not actually be able to land something substantial. Okay, so it means that you also need to be active on this platform. Even if you're not active, make sure you have a profile that showcases whom you are. Okay, you are data analyst, Gen AI data analyst, you are Gen AI project manager. Let your profile also communicate that as well. Now, moving on, let's see how we can actually use AI to analyze data under 5 minutes. All right, let's see how we can use AI to analyze the data under 5 minutes before we move on. So we can actually get a little bit handy in this conversation today. So when you get the slide, simply click on this data set here. Once you click on data set here, it's also going to bring you back to the Google Sheets. Okay, let me make sure that this Google Sheets, I did not give edit access to anyone so that you guys cannot come and scatter the data. All right, let me confirm that I did not give edit access to anybody out there. Okay, so this is just a simple data criteria. All right. So once you click on it, I'm going to see the transfer window. I don't know how many of us here that lost before. What happened in the last transfer window, how clubs spent their money, how the money they also received, and also their net spent. Let's see what we can achieve with Claude using that Claude as an AI tool, okay, for this analysis. So when you get this, simply go to Claude.ai and you're going to definitely land on this page. There's going to be an initial conversation around you registering with an email, you validating with a phone number. But once you are done, you are going to be on this platform called Cloud.ai. Okay, Cloud.ai. Let's see what you can analyze. All right. So I'm going to do something very, very simple so that we don't waste time here. Once we click on this plus sign, you're going to see upload a file, take a screenshot, add from GitHub. So because what we're trying to analyze is just a simple page, we don't want to download this, we don't want to do it. So let's take a screenshot. So I'm going to use this, take a screenshot, look for that exact link of what I'm talking about. This is it. And then I'll click on share. So once I click on this share, it is simply going to now, can't see your screen. Oh my God. Can you guys see my screen? All right. If you can't see my screen, I think it's a network issue. All right. It's a network issue. All right. So with that simple, using that screenshot option, I've added the sheets to this Claude. Now, next thing I want to do is to let me just run an analysis of what happened. So what I'm going to simply do is let me ask Claude a question. I want to tell Claude to analyze the attached. Oh, I'm typing in capital letter. Analyze the attached and share at least what do I need? At least 5 visuals to show how each club last transfer window was. Now, I'm going to show us a very interesting thing here. Use scaling so that each visual can be seen clearly. Now, this is the prompt I've given the Claude. Okay, and I'll simply run my analysis. Let's see what we're going to come up with. All right, let's see what we are going to come up with. And then that is where we'll start rounding up for today. Okay, you can see I've given it the script. I'm doing something else entirely, and it's running it for me. This is how easy AI can make your life for you. All right, this is how easy AI can make your life be. But the problem is that we are seeing it as a competition. We are seeing it as a threat and not as a co-pilot. We're not seeing it as our personal assistant. We're not seeing it as a tool that we can actually be able to leverage to solve many problems. Now, another person might be doing something else, trying to solve this problem, doing every single analysis out there to come up with that same visual. Okay, and I can use AI to do mine, and I have my results. Can we all see my screen? Can we all see my screen? All right, if you can see my screen, let me try and close this one small so that we can actually see it clearly. Now I can see clearly that within that 2 minutes, we have the net spend of each club existing here. Okay, so it means that for last transfer window, my co-Arsenal fans, our net spend is the worst. Our net spend is the worst, followed by Liverpool and Manchester United and others, okay? That is how our net spend ranking is. And of course, people that did the best business out there for last transfer window, apparently it's Brighton, okay? Apparently it is Brighton. They have a green form showing that their net spend is still quite okay. Now, if you scroll down, you're also going to see, you can see the first one is talking about net spend ranking. If you go to number 2 here, you're going to see total money spent versus received. You can see this scattered plot that it is also using to provide this visual for you. Now, remember when I mentioned that if you're using ChatGPT for data analytics, it's not going to be interactive like this. You can see when I was under this net spend, I can easily hover over any of them, and it's going to give me the name, Tottenham, Manchester United, and so on and so on, and also give me the amount there. ChatGPT do not have that interactive feature as at now, which is why it's also mentioned that it's important for us to know which tool is relevant for what we want to do. If you want to do anything that has to do with research, scholarly-based activity, you should be tilting towards ChatGPT and use the scholarly aspect that's embedded there. If you want to do something that is relating to analytics, you should be looking at Bricks and also Cloud. And this is actually a free version that I'm using. It's not like the Cloud is paid for. So total money spent, you are also seeing the scattered plot fully here, which means if you look at these guys that is up here, who are these guys? Chelsea. It means that when it comes to the total money spent, Chelsea spent the highest amount. Okay, followed by these guys here. Who are these guys? Liverpool. Okay, Liverpool spent 442. Chelsea spent how much? Okay, Liverpool spent the highest amount rather because they're on this horizontal side. Yeah, Liverpool spent the highest amount, then followed by Chelsea, and then of course followed by these guys here, Arsenal, and then followed by these guys here, Newcastle. They spent the highest money spent. Okay, Then we're looking at it from money received also. Who received the least money? It is these guys that are also here, Everton. They receive the least money. And then if you go to this other side, you can see analysis of the biggest spenders, how everybody spent, top sellers, how everybody also sold. So you can see, even though Chelsea is spending a lot, okay, that is second club in the spend rank. And then when it comes to selling also, they're number one, which means that net spend is actually going to be very, very okay. And then, of course, transfer activity overview, you are seeing your summary. Now you can see how easy we were able to come up with this report under 2 minutes. Now, I can decide to publish this. Once I publish it, it's going to create a link. And if I drop the link in the comment section here, anybody on that call can easily go and interact with the data and see it from their own side and also be able to, look at the data themselves. So I've copied the link. Let me copy it and then paste in our comment section here so that we all can actually be able to access it also. So I've copied it, I've pasted it here. Once you click on it, it's going to take you to the club and be able to also show you that same report that we analyzed. Now see what we were able to achieve within a space of 5 minutes. This is the part of the least things that ChatGPT, that Gen AI can do for you. What I just did now is one of the least things it can do for you. And that's because of time. That's why I had to use the easiest data set that we can actually use. Now, if we can do this under 3 minutes, imagine what you can achieve when you actually learn properly how to actually do these things. Okay? And many times we always think that these things are impossible until it is done. I'm here to tell you that I'm a living witness. Okay? I was speaking with somebody today. I told the person that gradually we are all moving from being Lapo babies to Nepo babies. And it was funny. But the only secret is being able to get into some of these things earlier when they were coming out. Okay? Earlier when they all came out, we were able to transition early. So it always seems impossible until it is done. We have success stories of people that have been able to make this same switch before now. And remember the two things I told you that recruiters are always looking out for: the skill that you're coming with and also the experience that you're bringing. Nothing else. The skill and the experience. There's nothing else they care about. If you like, be from their village. If you like, be from their hometown. They do not care. If you lack the skill and lack the experience, you are going to actually find it challenging to land a job. This is the same formula that Martin used to be he has a BSc in chemistry, and he joined analytics and he moved to being a chemist to becoming a pathology data analyst. Same thing happened with Pavel. Pavel used to be a teacher, and then he also transitioned to data. So this is to show you that it is actually very, very possible, extremely possible, all right? And everything I've mentioned is around the technical skill. Now, let's talk employability skill, because like I said earlier, this is one major differentiator for most individuals if you are looking to land a job to come 2026. Your tech skill alone is not enough. Your tech skill alone is actually not enough. I was having an interview day before yesterday because we were trying to hire a product designer. And this guy, fantastic designer, amazing person, but then his communication wasn't great. He wasn't even speaking. He wasn't convincing. And we're finding it very challenging to say, okay, let's go out with this guy. And that's simply because he lacked some of those other employability skills that recruiters need. And this is a full-fledged product designer that is quite skilled. Now, what we do from our own side here is that while we are teaching you those technical skills, we also walk you through what other things do you need to be able to land a job. Things like your CV optimization, walk you through that, put you through it. How do you tailor your CV down to the specifics of the job that you're going for? One major mistake that we all make is doing easy apply on LinkedIn. Easy apply, easy apply, easy apply, easy apply. Once that is what you're doing, you are still going to be finding it challenging come next year. Okay? So you need to move a step further towards tailoring your CV down to the specific job that you're going for. And then LinkedIn optimization also puts you through that. We're teaching you all these things. Okay, LinkedIn optimization, and also how to navigate the job market. Okay, how to build your project portfolio and also navigate the job market. Remember when I gave the example of the mechanic and also the guy from Oxford University of Mechanical Engineering. Now, this is where recruiters are always looking for. Then interview prep session, very, very critical. If you land a job today and you go for an interview, they ask you, oh, Fevi, Sylvester, Musa, tell us about a time where you use so and so to do so and so thing. What are you going to say? That is a situation-based question. And whenever it comes to you, remember STAR framework. STAR framework, which we call situation, task, action, and result. So what it simply means is that situation that you were in, the task that you were carrying out, the action that you took, and the results that it gave in the end. Oh, while I was consulting with analytics, I worked on this project, okay, where I had to build a simulation to make sure I move the social media data that we are getting down to the email automation. I had to use N8N to automate this, do this one, do that one. And in the end, it automated our entire process that we used to do in a space of 3 days into 2 hours. And because of that, we had more returning customers that improved our revenue. So these are part of the things that will put you through. So when you land an interview invite, you can simply book an interview preparatory session with us, and we're going to prepare you for such interviews. Then also, because you are consulting with us, we're also available to provide you with reference letters and recommendation letters at any point that you need it. Then on the job support, you land a job, you are still struggling, we're also fully here to assist you with all these things. Then weekly mentorship session, very, very important. An Upwork session. How do you make $50 here? How do you make £50 here? How do you make 50,000 naira here, depending on the country that you are joining? And also, how do you make 50 cedis here? Because I know we have someone from Ghana as well. So all these are part of what you are getting together with the technical skill that we have already discussed about. So how can Tenalytics business help you as at today? Very, very important question. We have 5 different programs that we currently are bringing in students into. Number one of them is AI automation engineers. Okay, how do you build AI agents? How do you also build LLMs? Okay, so first thing that you're going to understand is understanding the foundations of AI automation and LLM. Then you move on to prompt engineering. Now, I don't know if you notice a difference in how I prompted that cloud. As a place I use words like scale this to so and so I can easily be able to see everything. Now, if you don't understand prompt engineering, you may not actually be able to prompt accurately. Okay. Now, if I didn't use that word scale this, it's going to give me a visual that because maybe Chelsea spent 500 million and the next person that spent something is around 100 million. That data set, that visual I may not be able to see it on my laptop. I have to now scroll before I can see it. But because I use scale this to this, it was able to give it to me in a visual appealing manner. That is simply prompt engineering. Understanding how to actually communicate with LLMs to be able to bring out a better result. They also put you through how to now build LLM-powered apps, okay? With document search, memory, and also RAG pipelines. Okay, then you're moving towards your advanced AI automation. How do you build multi-agent systems? Okay, how do you build voice agents? How do you with VHB? How do you build retail AIs that you can easily use to, automate your sales pipeline? How do you use and build 11 labs as well as VAPI? So all these things are part of what we are pushing you through. And then lastly, how do you deploy, monetize, and also demo your projects? So if you decide to go for AI automation, you're going to be learning N8N, Flowise, Chroma, Airtable, Zapier, Gradio, Gemini, Claude, and also ChatGPT. So all these are part of the tools they're going to be learning, as well as these ones that we have down here. The class is on Saturdays and Sundays alone. It's for 8 weeks with capstone projects at the end of the program for 8 weeks, Saturdays and Sundays alone. Now, the reason why it's on Saturdays is because, 90% of people here, they're all working. So how do you now combine working and also being able to, improve your own skills? So Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. West African time, and then Sundays, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time. So for the people in Ghana, Zimbabwe, Saudi Arabia, you may want to do the conversion to West African time zone and then find out the time that it is also in your own time. Now, the next also that we have here is Gen AI for data analysts and Gen AI for HR analysts. Now, for someone like Esohe, if she wants to now capitalize on her own initial existing skill, I expect her to be in this Gen AI for HR analysts. But if she now wants to shift away from her normal norm and be in data aspects, then she can now go for another one. Okay, but their starting is almost the same thing. Okay, their starting is almost the same. You can see that the Gen AI for this guy, for data analyst, foundations of AI, tools for automation, prompt engineering, and then AI automation. Same thing across this place also. Then from number 5, that is where the differentials now start coming in, which is how do you build multi agency with for analytics? How do you, which AI tools for every data analyst are you going to be using? Okay, and also AI for SQL mastery, and AI and Microsoft Fabrics and applied AI projects. So you can see the tools that you are learning and the key learning areas for the Gen AI for data analysts here. And then for the HR guy, I see now AI automations for HR workflows. And they are now moving towards automating HR data workflows with NXN, because there are different workflows that HRs have. How do you automate every single one of them? They now move towards this aspect of AI for SQL and so on and so forth. So these are also the tools that you're also going to be learning, as well as the tools that this individual will be learning here as well. So the class is also the same timeline, Saturdays and Sundays as well, 10 a.m. on Saturdays, 2 p.m. on Sundays, also for 8 weeks. All right. So once you get this slide, feel free to click on this blue side, and it's going to take you to the curriculum of the program. You can always easily go through them. Then lastly is we'll have Gen AI for business analysts, and then also Gen AI for project managers. So let's assume you have relative skill towards BA or relative skill towards project management. These are also places that you can decide to start from. Okay, so you can see we are starting with foundations of Gen AI for a business analyst. And these are different for individuals. For instance, if you go here, if you go for data analyst, you may not see things like Notion existing here. But if you come in this direction, you're going to start seeing Notion existing for a business analyst, because it's a business analytical tools. So it is tailored down to each of those programs that you are going for. Okay, you're going to understand prompt engineering for a business analyst as well, understand AI for project initiation, AI for stakeholder analysis and strategy, and AI-driven project planning and execution. Okay, then how do you also do requirements analysis using AI? How do you do your process mapping and your gap analysis? And then how do you test and also deploy? If you move to project manager side as well, you're seeing how AI for project managers can also work. And then leadership and stakeholder engagement using AI, as well as execution, monitoring, and risk management using AI. So different key learning areas exist for different individuals. And the class also is Saturdays and Sundays, Saturdays 10 a.m. and Sundays 2 p.m. The program is also for 8 weeks. Now, how can you get started today? Our first cohort is starting on January 10th, 2026. So our next cohort is starting January 10th, 2026. And we have an amazing discount for everyone because we are celebrating our 50th anniversary, and we also have our early Black Friday discount, which means that you get all the program at a 50% and 60% differences. So for AI automation, the full amount is 200,000, but you get to pay only 100,000 to get into it. You can pay 50,000 today to secure your spots. For all the other programs, the full amount is also 200,000, and then you get it discounted to 80,000. And also pay 40,000 today to get started. And I can see that this is the best opportunity you can actually have with regards to breaking into any of this program. You can have first instrumental option, then second instrumental option. First option is today, you're making your payments, and next one, we expect it to also come next month or thereabouts. Okay, I hope this makes sense to everyone, because the truth is that it is not for everyone. Okay, it's just for the first 20 people to secure their spots. And once that 20 spots are taken, the price goes back to the full amount, which is 200,000. So we're not trying to gather the entire everybody into the program. No, that is why once the discounted spots are filled, the amount goes back to the full price. Okay, and this session we're having right now with the selected groups that we have here, we also have several others going on in different places. And this first 20 is across the board. So I always advise people to take action as fast as possible. How can you take action as of today? Simply take these details that we have here, this account number, Kuda Bank, with this account name, Ten Analytics data and strategy, and then make your first instrumental payment. All right, once you make your first instrumental payment, that is simply it. And you can now click on this link to update your details. I can see a hand raised. Vincent, I'm going to call you up to take your question shortly, but let me just finish explaining this. All right, and you can now click on this link that we're also going to be dropping for you to now fill the form. Okay, so once you make the payments using the link that my colleagues are dropping in the comment section, you can now come right here, put your email address, what name is on the account used for the payment, so that we can also validate that it is you, and then you made payment, full name, email address, phone number, your job title, organization they are coming from, and which program you are going for. Then we also want to know your skill sets, and then what is your payment plan? Are you paying full payments? Are you paying in 2 installments? And then what cohorts are you also registering from? So if you are hearing about us through any of these guys that we have here, also feel free to put it there so that we'll also be able to validate our own internal processes. Okay. And if you have any challenges after this, please feel free to also reach out to treasure@tenanalytics.org and also copy finance@tenanalytics.org. So thank you all so much. Let me take a question now, and I'll answer everyone's question before we round up. Hi, Vincent, your hand is up. Please go ahead and ask your question. I've made a co-host. Hi, Vincent, I've made a co-host. Please go ahead and ask your question. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll be very, very fast so that because of time, I'm very happy to come across this session tonight. Very, very happy, and I appreciate the way you analyze everything and made it very, very simple. You are indeed a good teacher, a good tutor. So I'm Vincent Chinecherem by name. I'm currently building a project that requires strong financial modeling and analytics. You understand? I've just been hand-on. I've been self-learning, self-tutoring myself. I'm here to understand how deep and practical 10 analytics training is to my project, and how does your program support learners?
I lost you there for a while.
Can you hear me?
I'm struggling to hear you, Vincent.
Oh, so sorry. I said that my name is Vincent. I'm currently building a strong project that requires strong financial modeling and analytics skills. I'm here to understand how deep and practical this 10 analytics training is to my project. Then I'm asking a question: how does your program support learners like me who are building real world financial model or products, not just preparing for job roles?
Very, very interesting question. Okay. So okay, you can mute yourself now, Vincent, so I'll take that. Okay. There's a feedback. Yeah, there's feedback from the side. All right. So for all our programs, if you notice when I was speaking, you're not coming to class to learn verbatim. You're not coming to class to learn theoretical conversation. You are actually coming to class and you're working on a real life project. So let me play a video of one of the past students and what they were able to build. All right, so let me click on this. Let's listen to what our past participants had to say, because it is going to answer part of your question, and then I'm going to take the other one. All right, so quickly, let's listen to what you had to say. Okay, the audio is not here. Just a second, let me share a tab so I can also be able to share the audio. I want you to hear from a past student so that you're not hearing from me directly. Okay, let me share the tab so that I can actually be able to. All right, it should be up now. Okay, let's hear what he has to say.
Said I am an operations manager at an open university. Now, what I'm about to show you here is just an MVP, something I did. But just to give you a broader picture of where I am heading to, for an open university, lecturers have a lot of submissions to grade. And then imagine as a lecturer managing like 1,000 students and you having to grade their essays manually, right? It has become a pain point. Most of them use ChatGPT, but what they do is they download these submissions, feed it into AI to help them read it and all that. So what I am working on here, it's actually an automated grader, something that will look through all the submissions and automatically input the scores and give feedback for each student. So I decided to do an MVP. I called it an automated CV clarity grader, but that's not what it is. It's just an MVP. If I can do it for CV analysis, I can also do it for grading essays, right? So I'm just going to run it. I will not explain the details, but this is just to show you that I have really benefited from the program already. This is just one of the projects I am working on. There are so many other ones, operation support assistant and all that. So basically,
all right.
These are.
I don't know if you heard what the person mentioned, Vincent. This is one of the projects that they worked on. Now, the class itself is heavily reliant on projects. So whether you're going for Gen AI for data analyst or Gen AI for financial analyst or for HR or for AI automation, they are all fully practical based classes. Okay, so you are going to be working on projects that is now relative to what you are learning. Now, you also asked a question relating to how we support you from the aspect of you are building something different entirely. Now, remember what he said is that you are building something in financials. I'll advise you to go towards data analytics. Okay, because as a data analysts also work as financial analysts, and they can easily be able to streamline towards financials. Now, what you learn from the program will also be sufficient to also give you an edge towards what you are building. And then also, if you have a bottleneck, people are also there to support you at any point in time. But what we always advise our students to do is to look within their own cohorts. Because we've had 3 guys that moved away from one cohort to actually float one AI agency. Okay, because one of them was building something and within themselves, within the same class, they met together, said, okay, let's float together and bring out this business. And they floated an AI agency. So that is what I also expect to do, Vincent, because there's no other way that people meet their co-founders. Okay, it's from sessions like these, classes like this, MBA programs that co-founders meet each other. So in your own class, once you join, trust me, you're going to see people that are also quite excited to go on that building journey with you. But we are available to provide you support. But if you need people that should be maybe lifetime co-founders and things like that, within your exact classroom, you easily find people that will help you solve that problem that you're looking to also solve. I hope that answers your question, Vincent. Vincent, I hope that answers your question. Do we have another question from anybody? I can't see any other hand raised. Do we have any other questions from anybody? Remember what I said earlier, guys. If you have any question, please, if you don't want to speak, feel free to put it in the comment section and I'm going to pick it up from there. Okay, you can type it in the comment section and I'm going to pick it up from there. So all these tools here, you are learning them, you are working on projects, and you're using that project to actually function on the real life basis. Yeah, I think I have another hand raised from Silas. Hi, Silas. I've made you a co-host. Please go ahead and ask your question. Silas, I've made a co-host. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, good evening. Good evening.
Silas, if you're speaking, we can't hear you.
I said good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. How are you doing?
Okay, I'm fine. My simple question is this. For a while now, I've been hearing about data analytics. You understand? I don't know much about it, but I think it interests me. Now, regarding this particular AI program as concerns data analytics, business analytics, and all that, if I have to go for it, we have to first of all go and learn data analytics on its own before coming to learn this one.
Very, very important question. Practically, Silas, you do not have to. All right. So why I say you do not have to is this. It's just like you want to learn how to drive a car today. Are you going to go and learn manual before you now go and learn automatic? The answer is no. All right. The answer is no. But there is also another clause there. Now, if in future it comes to you that you need to drive a manual car, will you be able to drive it after you've driven an automatic car? That's not the question. Okay, so I wouldn't advise you to go and learn this one, go and learn that one before you come to learn this. No. I would advise you to look towards this, learn this, and forge ahead, because that is where the world is tilting towards. The world is going automatic, the one is going artificial intelligence, so I expect you to jump right into it. But then there's a clause that I always add, and that clause is that it is, if the world reverses back and all this is not existing again, will you still have those skills? That's a question you also have to ask yourself. Okay, but practically, I would expect you to say, okay, I want to go and learn this one, learn that one before I come into this. No. Remember, let me show you what data analysts are learning. Can see data analysts, you are learning AI tools for every data analyst. So you're learning how to use AI with regards to what's it called? SQL. How to use AI with regards to Power BI as well. So all those things are fully embedded here, but it's now the artificial intelligence direction that you're working towards. I don't know if that answers your question, Silas. Okay, so if you want to drive a car, will you go and learn manual before you come and learn automatic? The answer is no. You're going to go and learn automatic because that is where the world is even moving towards. These days, people are not even learning anyone again because we're not going towards self-driving cars. So, all right, I hope that answers your question, Silas. Do we have any other question from anyone? For people that are just joining us, you may have missed a lot. Please make sure you fill the attendance form so that we share the slide and recorded version of this conversation with you. Okay, I can't see any hand raised again. I can't see. I'm a graduate of agricultural science and rural development. Came there, that's not a question. I can't see any provision for anyone without these skills yet. Yeah, just Samuel. So for all these programs that we have here, you don't have to be an expert in any of them to move towards that direction. No, because the program is structured from basic level up to advanced level. Okay, so you don't even need to have the skill. I mean, if you have the skill already, you don't need to come to us. So you don't need to have the skill. We're going to teach you from that basic level and bring you up. So let's assume you're going for AI automation. We don't expect to know anything about AI automation yet. So we're going to walk you through starting from the foundations. So if you see all the programs that we have here, the first thing that you are going to be learning in any of them is foundations of this, foundations of that, because we don't expect you to know it already. So even if you know it and you come in, we're still going to teach you from the basic level up to that advanced level. And I know I mentioned that class is just Saturdays and Sundays, that we also record all those classes, that if you miss any of them, we provide you with the recorded version of the class. So what we expect you to now do is to go through the recorded version, come back to the classroom, ask questions. Well, I was trying to go through this. Might this happen? How do I resolve it? And someone is going to be there to solve your problem. Okay, so we do what we call 3-factor authentication. Your classes, your live classes, and then the recorded version of the class is provided to you. We also have drop-in sessions where you come in weekly. This one happens during the week. Okay, on Tuesdays around 8 p.m., depending on the agreement that you have with your data associates, to have like a revision class of what happened on Saturday. Okay, and then on Saturday again, you continue with your actual class. So you can see there are 3 different layers: your live classes, the recorded version of the classes, and then the drop-in session that happens, that's like revision class of what happened previously. Okay, I hope that answers your question and also clarifies for everyone that also had such question. That's for Samuel. Okay, let me go through the comment section again to know if there are other questions for me. I think, please, okay, I sent you a message on WhatsApp concerning the, okay, that's not for me. All right, okay, so if you are still here and you're considering making a move, remember, the discount is not for everyone. It is just for the first 20. And once the amount, the 20 spots are filled, the price goes back. Now, if I learn AI engineering, can I practically be able to do the rest without learning them again? Oh my, Silas, no, you can't. No, you can't. Just like you asking if you learn to be a driver of a car, will you be able to drive a motorcycle or a bicycle. Even if you are high up there, for instance, I drive a car. I've never driven a bicycle in my life. And I know the day I'm going to drive a bicycle, I'm going to fall down. So that you know how to do one doesn't equate that you know how to do the others. They're all different segments. Okay. So if you learn AI automation, you are an AI automation specialist. It's just like if you are a medical doctor, you will not go to law court and defend somebody. No. So you're simply a medical doctor. If you now decide to specialize to be maybe a pediatrist or a neurosurgeon, a pediatrist won't say, okay, let me go and do brain surgery. No. So all those different calibers of work that we have, that is how in the tech space, we also have different tech career paths. AI automation is a career path on its own. Gen AI for data analytics is a career path on its own. For the one for business analysts, a career path on its own. Same thing for the one for project managers. Okay, so you can't use one to substitute the other. But see what I'll tell you here, Silas. Some of us, you can comfortably speak about these things because we started from somewhere. And then over years, close to a decade, we now built all these years of experience. So you're now moving from one to the other. But it's not something that you can get within a space of 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. No. But over years, over a period of time, you can build up those experience in every single one of them. Hope that answers your question again, Silas. All right, like I mentioned, the discount is not for everybody. So please make sure that you secure your spot. And when you are done with the training, we also provide you with certificates from the American Council of Training and Development, fully accredited. Okay, which means you can always mention, oh, this is my certificate that I got from Analytics. And anywhere across the globe, whether in US, Canada, Ghana, Zimbabwe, Botswana, it is fully acceptable. But remember, in the tech industry, it is competence over credentials. So even though this certificate is there for you, the most important thing that you need is the skill and the experience that we're going to be giving you in the classroom. Okay. Now, last year we got into the Alberta Catalyzer program. This year we are presently in the Dohe Accelerator program, and it is with one purpose: how do we help more professionals to be able to accelerate their career path into the tech sector? Okay, and consistently you can see that, like I mentioned earlier, it is a continuous learning process, because we are learning to be able to give back more to the society. So you need to also be adaptable from your own side and be able to learn continuously. All right. And if you're a HR, people like Esohe that is coming to conversations like this, we also have a platform fully automated for companies. So let's assume you want to train the staff in your organization. We're also fully available to perform business training, B2B activities for your staff specifically. Okay. And you have a platform where you can track the progress of every single member in your organization, and also be able to, understand the ROI with regards to the investment that you've made. Okay, it can be tailored specifically to your own organization. Let's assume your organization is in FMCG or in financials or in logistics. The training will also be specialized and tailored to that organization. Of course, it's a fully hands-on project-based training. Okay, and HRs have the platform to also track the progress of each person, so they can actually be able to know the investments that you've made on anybody, and zero disruption with regards to the operation. And of course, you're also learning with global operating standards. So these are also things that will provide to organizations. You have a platform, you have an LMS that can use to be able to track all these things. And it's existing in the financial sector, FMCG, telecom, HR recruitment firms, tech and startups, any organization that you are coming from. We can tailor down that specific B2B training for your own organization. We've done similar things for Fair Money, Hess Holding, Cowrie, TGI, Nigerian Breweries, and of course, Mikano. You can see that we know small. You can see the amazing guys that we've trained in the industry. So if you want to, or if you are HR, you want to also send your staff to take any of these open programs, please also feel free to reach out to us. And we're going to have a free demo session, and of course, which can do a couple of discounts for you. And of course, you also have unlimited seats. Okay, so thank you all so much. I can't see any other question in the comment section. Thank you all for listening to me for the last 1 hour, 15 minutes. It's a privilege to have you all right here. Is it a physical or an online class? No, sir, isn't it? It is fully virtual class. So all the classes are fully virtual. Okay, they are all fully virtual. Saturdays by 10 a.m. and then Sundays by 2 p.m. fully virtual class. Okay, Saturdays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., Sundays 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. You have once you join or register, you have access to the closed WhatsApp group. You have access to the classroom as well, and also to the LMS where you're going to be using to learn all these things. Okay. Do we have any last minute question from anyone before I run away from here? My LinkedIn page, just check Chukwuemeka Ekpa, you're going to see me. Chukwuemeka Ekpa or Tenalytics Business, and you're also going to see us. Depending on the one that you're asking, our Tenalytics Business, there's a business page, and also my own personal page, Chukwuemeka IKPA Ekpa, and you're also going to see me as well. Okay, thank you all so much once more. Like I said earlier, this discount is not for everybody, just for the first 20 secure their spot. And of course, the best time to break into tech is yesterday, because adaptability is constantly changing. Okay, it's important that you get this skill now before we get into 2026. Many of us here, we said 2025 is the year I get into tech. We have roughly 20 days remaining, and we are still not in tech. So if you are looking to make changes towards that direction come 2026, now is the time to make that move. Because if you wait till January before you move, it is already too late. Thank you all so much, and let's have a wonderful day, wonderful afternoon, or wonderful night's rest, depending on where we are all joining from. Okay, I can see a last minute hand being raised from Armstrong. Armstrong, I've already given my this is my tag to close out my session. All right, please go ahead and ask your question, Armstrong.
Yes, thank you very much for the trainings. I really appreciate. I just wanted to find out if it's possible for one to who is without the knowledge of data analysis to be able to implement all these things that you have taught after enrolling in the class as the data analysis, AI automation.
Yeah. So the simplest answer to that, Armstrong, is yes. Okay, that's a simple answer to that. So you can be equipped with the skill to know how to use AI to function as a data analyst. And it's a career path on its own, okay? Because every single role out there, even the guys that know the manual aspect of it, they're looking to upskill to learn the AI aspect, okay? Because you need it to actually be able to function faster in the space. We had a hackathon a couple of weeks back. One of the winners said something that he had to use AI to do this and get everything that he needed and now applied knowledge to it to be able to come up with his own results. Okay, it's simply what is obtainable out there. So if you can use that AI to function, of course, please be able to use it. Okay, so Armstrong, the training will put you through that same stage on how to understand AI and be able to use it to function as a data analyst. I hope that makes sense to you, Armstrong. I hope that makes sense to you. Do we have any other last minute question before I run away? And any question from anyone? All right, thank you all so much for the last time, and let's have a wonderful day ahead. Cheers, everyone, and bye for now. I'll see you come January 10th in the classes. Remember, the discount is not for everybody, it's just for the first 20. And once the full 20 is taken, the price goes back to just the full amount. Bye, guys.